Hello, Chessmood family! GM Avetic here is with you. Welcome to French Defense video course. The material of this course I prepared much easier than others, as all my life I used to play the French defense for black. You can imagine how deep my knowledge is in French defense, as I played it from the time when I was 6 years old kid, and it serves me to become a grandmaster. And despite of the fact that I stopped to play chess professionally and switched to coaching career, I continued to follow the theory, to check all the new games, and always checked my analysis with engine in order to provide the best value to my student. Moreover, I teach them all lines against knight d2. We played here knight f6, bishop e7, c5, and my lovely line knight c6, tricky one. And also after knight c3 we played both moves bishop b4 and knight f6. And also after e5 I teach them many lines. So these three moves, knight c3, knight d2 and e5, are the main lines of white, and we had very good preparations here for black pieces. Despite of the fact being an expert in French defense, a few years ago something interesting happened to me. I was playing blitz games online and one guy just crushed me playing bishop d3 move. I knew about this rare, not popular move, but have never paid much attention to it. The next game I was also crushed, then few games in a row. I tried different lines here. I played knight f6, I played c5, I played d4, and everywhere got problems. During all my career I played more than 100 games with French defense, and I've never met this bishop d3 move during classic games. And then one guy is just crushing me in blitz games. And the thing here was that he was not outplaying me in equal positions or winning in the end games. I was getting bad positions from the very opening in all games. Exactly the next day I woke up early morning, prepared my chessboard, my laptop, came into the right mood. I always did it, not only before the games, but also before the training, and set to work seriously on this bishop d3 line. I checked the games in database, turned the engine on, thought myself over the board, but surprisingly to me I spent the whole day and failed to find what is the best continuation against this bishop d3 move. The next day the most funny thing happened. While again I was working on this line, one of my students called me and said, "Hey coach, how to play against bishop d3 move? I lost few games today playing online." I began to laugh. The next day we made a Skype call. He was living in the USA, and began to brainstorm about this line. And finally we found what is the right way to play for black. However, the last position was very fighting and playable for both sides, and I couldn't understand why this bishop d3 move is not popular. Very soon this move began to be played very successfully by many GMs like Onishuk, Fedorchuk, Pankratov, Tomczak, and many others have played this move a lot and has amazing results there. In 2017, top grandmasters Vaciel Lagrave and Kramnik Vladimir began to play it too, and this line is becoming more and more trendy. So it was definite for me that against French defense, instead of going to big lines with knight c3 move or knight d2 or e5, I will introduce you with this tricky bishop d3 line. Can you imagine how you're gonna crush your opponents against less experienced player than the mentioned GM who used to play French defense all his life? I'm super excited to introduce you this line against French defense, explain all the ideas and show the most important variations. And I'm sure you will have super results as my other students who learned and started to play bishop d3 against French defense. So stay tuned, we start the journey. During all my career I played more than 100 games with French defense, and I've never met this bishop d3 move during classic games. And then one guy is just crushing me in blitz games. And the thing here was that he was not outplaying me in equal positions or winning in the end games. I was getting bad positions from the very opening in all games. In this video I will explain what is the idea of bishop d3 move and will introduce you with the continuations that black has, which we're gonna explore in the next video. Bishop d3 move is directed against knight f6 move, while after knight c3 and knight d2 both cases, knight f6 of black side is the main move. Bishop d3 is directed against knight f6 move. And so in the next video I will explain what's going on here, why knight f6 here is not a good move anymore. Then we will move after bishop b3 and look c5 move. We take the d5 and now queen d5 is not a good move, which we will see. After ed5, cd4 also not a good move, which I will also show you why. So after ed5 the main line is ed5, and here I will show you three moves: dc5, knight f3 and c3, and you will choose which one you like more. After which we will go to bishop d3, main line d4, bishop e4, knight f6 and bishop f3. Here is the idea of bishop d3 move. A bishop on f3 stays very good, and the knight on g1 goes to e2. So let's go and explore all these lines after bishop d3 step by step. We start from knight f6, so you will see why this knight f6 move is not a good move anymore.